been with this organisation for quite a few years now, but particularly I've been chairman since 2006 when we launched this 20-year vision for our area. From this plan, a flagship project, which was the redevelopment of this particular site, which was the site for the old cattle market. The sheds remained empty for many, many years. They were used as a sort of a dumping ground for all sorts of rubbish. And it wasn't until 2008, when the South Kerrier Alliance started the farmers' markets on this site, that those sheds came into use. There have been two feasibility studies, one done in 2005, another in 2006. Both of those identified a need for a community building on this site. Something that would finish off this beautiful parkland, would give communities a really nice space to hold their events, but also we had to think of how do you make the building sustainable. So that involved us looking at the design of the building to see what areas could meet with the objectives of the plan but still generate income to help us maintain the building in the future.
Hello, my name is Jeanette O'Connell and I'm the lucky lady who's the new centre manager at the old cattle market in Helston. The building is working extremely well. It's almost two buildings in one. The top level of the building is all business units and every single unit is full. We've got some very prestigious local businesses that have come into the building. We've got financiers, we've got a solicitor, we've got a charity, and we've also got an environmentally friendly nappy, Emma from Funky Monkey Pants, little plug. On the downstairs, that's more the social and the community area, and on the west wing we've got adult care and support. This is a lovely part of the building because it means that people from the Lizard, for example, can bring their charges in here rather than having to go to Penzance or Red Ruth. In the other area is the community hall, and that's where we have the fun. The community hall is extremely well booked at the moment. We've got a lot of support from all areas of the community. We have exercise classes, we have Zumba Gold, we have Slimming World, we have some martial art classes actually coming in. And we've also got things like wedding receptions, we've got christening, we've got children's parties. We've also got a little art class on as well, which is quite interesting when they come to clean up. The hall actually divides into two areas, and we often have two classes in at the same time. For example, we have Slimming World in, and we have a martial art class on the other side, and occasionally we have a dance group in on the other side, and that works quite well. Each side has its own facilities, and so people don't need to go through to use the loos or anything. They're all individual units as such. The building is completely community inclusive. We've had Disability Cornwall round to do an audit to ensure that we can let all areas and members of our community use the building. It's also hopefully going to get a BREEAM Excellence Award, which means we've tried very hard to get this building to meet all the environmental requirements that they put before us.
We identified European funding, ERDF, RDPE funding, ERDF which targeted the creation of workspace but required match funding, RDPE which is a looser, if you like, fund that was very much suited to the community use for the community hall and the adult care and support areas, for example. But there was a missing bit of funding. The building we knew was going to cost somewhere between 1.6 and 1.8 million pounds, excluding VAT. We could identify funding from RDPE and from the RDF, as I mentioned, but there was the missing ingredient. And then one day we heard from an organisation called the Development Trust Association, now known as Locality, as we know, that there was a seminar being held. We had a conversation. from that conversation about our project and talk about the possible opportunities for the Community Builders Fund to be that missing part of the jigsaw. And that really is where it started. Until that seminar in Taunton, we had no idea how we were going to pull together all the resources we would need to build this building. Other bits of funding were required along the way, feasibility funding most importantly. Future Builders, £33,000. The West Cornwall Local Action Group, £89,000. Business Link gave us £7,500 towards our BREEAM assessment. These were vital parts of funding that if we hadn't have got, I don't know whether the project would have succeeded. Cornwall Council Cabinet passed the lease arrangement for us in June 2010.
I'm Jonathan Kearsley. I'm the project manager on this project, effectively managing expectations, another sort of major aspect. And I was a project manager on the condition that I had a degree of automation, so I was able to make decisions effectively. And I think that worked really well. Such an amazing organisation to work with, SKA. In terms of the difficulties on this project, I think the difficulties were having to contract this so soon after we knew we had the funding. So basically, we had literally 3 weeks, and the fastest turnaround I think Mansell have ever done on an NEC3 Option C contract was about 6 weeks. So we basically halved the amount of time they've ever achieved anything like that in the past. So yeah, really impressive the way they stood up to the plate. We had 3 weeks of probably working 120, 130, 40 hours a week, insane amount of work. So that was a real difficulty. As far as the real bonuses are concerned, are that contractor, although they actually made no money on this project at all, Mansell Construction did a fantastic job, and they haven't relinquished their responsibilities going forward. So.
When it's really open.